and welcome to this edition of Leaders Insights hosted by Forbes Middle East. Today's guest has been at the forefront of some of the world's most international global events. As an executive producer of large events like the Davos Forum, the New York Forum, he's also been the co-founder of the Global Clinton Initiative. We welcome Richard Attias, who's also the founder of Richard Attias and Associates. He's been, again, behind some of the world's and the region's large events, which we are going to discuss. Richard, again, is it Richard or Richard? Which one do you prefer?
Both work for me. Depend if you want to go the French way or the American way.
Depending on the event, I suppose. So, Richard, obviously, large events have been the crux of your experience, and you have been at the forefront of the COVID-19 challenge, which has created a whole new reality for production and events. Virtual events and virtual activities, in your opinion, this year, do you think they really substituted physical events as they were intended to do?
No, I will quote 90% of the G20 leaders.
Yes.
As you know, the G20 leaders met end of November under the presidency of Saudi Arabia. We were very privileged to be part of the organization. And what all world leaders were saying, I cannot wait to see you again in person. We need face-to-face contact. We need face-to-face contact to solve the problems. We need face-to-face contact to build trust. You need face-to-face contact to first negotiate. There is nothing which will replace the in-person meetings. So it's a great substitute because it was allowing everyone to stay in touch, but it will not be the new norm. It will be an addition, but it will never replace the face-to-face gathering.
Yes, that's true. Even this interview could have a much different impact had we been in the same location physically. Let's talk a little bit more, Richard, about G20. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role in organizing probably the first ever G20 virtually, which was very successful, hosted in Saudi Arabia. Tell us about the challenges you faced and how did you go about helping organize such a large virtual event for dozens of world leaders?
Thank you, and thank you for acknowledging that it was a success. Indeed, it was a great success for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia because we started in December 2019 to produce the physical events of the G20. What people don't understand is that the G20 is not just the World Leaders Summit happening in November. It's more than 200 other events all year long. What we are calling the working groups and what we are calling the engagement groups. So we started by producing the 50 physical events until beginning of March, and then suddenly the world switched, as you know. And we were obliged to improvise ourselves and to work in total collaboration with all the telecom companies of the kingdom, STC, the Minister of Telecommunication, to improvise ourselves, becoming from the physical event producer to become a virtual event producer. So we improvise ourselves, and we even use that crisis as an opportunity to develop our own virtual platforms. It took us 3 months to even create some new tools, very secured, because when you are talking to world leaders, security is absolutely, I would not say even a plus, it's mandatory. So we were able to reinvent ourselves. We created a full virtual event division, and we were able to work on the content for many working and engagement groups to develop programs which were not easy to implement when you have speakers all over the world.
So if we were to look back quickly on 2020, obviously COVID-19 has disrupted many industries and affected your industry as well. What would you say are the top challenges you faced?
You know, the main challenge for me is to be in touch with my staff. We are more than a company. We are a family where I'm very privileged to work with the same people for almost 20 plus years. So the eye contact is absolutely crucial. They understand what we want. They are very responsive. So when you work remotely with people and you only see your people behind the screen, you don't have the same efficiency and the same productivity. No question. So this was one of the key challenge. The second challenge was very difficult to come to a country. To bring my 200 plus staff in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was not an easy. Thanks to the government support, it took me 3 weeks to get the visa, to get the permit, to get everything done. Even as you know, in Europe, to get a PCR test, sometimes it takes you 4 to 5 days to get just the test before being able to travel. So I would say that the whole administrative constraints which were imposed by COVID-19 made our business a real nightmare, much more than the technology and the virtual aspects, you know. This is a full ecosystem of constraints, which is a big challenge for us until today, by the way, until today, because French people, for example, cannot visit United States of America if it's not for a very specific purpose. We have offices in New York, in Dubai, in Paris, in Riyadh, in Africa, and they cannot all be visiting each other. So it's a big challenge.
Speaking of Saudi Arabia, the Public Investment Fund, or a subsidiary of the PIF, acquired 49% of your company last year. Can you tell us a little bit how did that come about and how it has impacted your business?
Yes, indeed, PIF, through its medium-sized investment arm, Sanabil, acquired 49% of the company. And I was interested to have a sovereign wealth fund joining our shareholders for a simple reason. It's like PIF investing very modestly. I cannot compare myself to Uber or to Google or to other investment. But when you have a sovereign wealth fund with you, their main goal is by definition to have a good return of investment. And the good return of investment is happening when you grow. So you have a full support, a financial support to grow. So this is our goal and our ambition, is to build a great champion in our industry through acquisitions and financing our growth. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to have the trust of a sovereign wealth fund, one of the most important in the world, which is supporting our vision and our strategy.
So does that mean you cannot answer my last question about your future plans in the Middle East?
So definitely I would say RANA, Richard Attias Associates 2.0, will grow in multiple areas. We are quite well known, in total modesty, of being one of the top global conference organizers, as you were kindly mentioned at the beginning. But we are also an advisory advocacy firm. We, for years, and it was not very well known, we are advising a lot of governments, a lot of world leaders on their strategy on how to brand a nation. This is another component of the company. But where we will be very active in 2021 and the coming years is also in the area of sport events and entertainment. Because this is something where we had great credentials. People do not know that we were behind the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in China in 2008, that we were behind a lot of opening and closing ceremonies of the African Games and much more. So we have a great expertise on sport events, and we have a great expertise also on entertainment. And as you know, the Gulf region is probably one of the most important destinations for the next 5 years in these two, I would say, chapters.
Indeed, we keep hearing and seeing a lot of behind the scenes on large events coming up in this region. So hopefully we will meet up again and see what's happening in a better year. Richard Attias, founder of Richard Attias and Associates, we wish you all the luck. Thank you for being our guest on Leaders Insights, hosted by Forbes Middle East.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you at the FII in January in Riyadh.